Welcome back to Refrain Chord. So now that we're done with all of that shit, hopefully, so now I'm showing. So now I've logged into my so I'm going to show you all of the stuff that I collected. Because here's an interesting thing about this game too. You can also somehow
for this.
You can apparently too get abilities as items that you equip, like, and I mean like actual attacks and spells and shit like that.
I guess similar to the action commands in Birth by Sleep.
I get that too. Here's the thing: as someone who has platinum and completed this game multiple times before starting this recording, I have never seen any tutorial or any indication from the game itself on how I get these items as abilities. I don't know how you do this. It's something that my save wizard code adds to the game when I put in the all items, right? But the game itself never told me. Okay, how do I get these ability items exactly? The game never told me that.
Aren't those stuff that you get by leveling up the abilities like you did at the end of the previous part?
No. That's just, that's skills that you get, like the actual skills that the character has. It has nothing to do with equipable items.
Anyway, tower. So if I remember correctly...
I think I recall this area from the previous
Yes,
game.
the Subterranean Tower is an area from the last game, and once again the background is reused, so the more corners we cut, the more money we make.
Okay, to be fair, it's established that so far we're still in the plot of the original game. We haven't yet gotten to the point where I guess things veer off, since apparently, more or less, up to this point, what's happened is the same as in the original game.
Oh, here's the thing, Joe, but even when the plot does veer off, we're mostly just revisiting the same places, mostly.
And again, we're using this excuse to actually limiting your party for the time being.
Kinda, yeah.
I mean, okay, I guess, to be fair, it is still the same world we're in,
sure.
So I've heard of worse reasons to reuse
and I'd rather have our use asset rather than, you know, the location being completely changed geographically to the point of almost being unrecognizable. You know, like in Crisis Core.
I like Crisis Core, but it retcons so much to the point of madness.
Coochie coochie.
It's huge! I know that you can't see it, but trust me, it's there.
I'm not
Sure,
helping
we'll
you,
see
fuck
it in
you.
battle. Yeah.
What?
Stones and glass houses, bang.
I've heard of the bull in the china shop, but I've never heard that one.
You never heard of stones and glass houses, Pedro?
No, not particularly. No.
Really?
Sorry, go on.
I can tell you that's not a thing people say in my country, at least.
Go on, Theo.
Basically, to put it simply, is that be careful of the criticism you throw because it might reflect the hypocrisy of your own self.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much.
I guess. Anyway, Tiara joined the party, so now we have 2 party members. Yeah, basically.
Again, we're using that excuse of, you know, Galdo, Harley, and Ari have been lost, so we're gonna have to, you know, wait until they get united. I guess.
Yeah, even if you import, even if you import the characters from your previous playthrough, you're still only allowed 2 characters in this battle. So
makes sense, you know, story and all that, but this really does make me wonder. Well, okay, is there like a particular reason why they started at this point, like, you know, at this point in the original?
Remember, Joe, we don't know much about the development of this game, so we don't know what was the thought process behind it.
Not really, no.
Yeah, like I've said it before and I'll say it again, this is one of the weirdest second anything installments I've seen to a series. Like, it's technically not a spin-off since it is.
Hold on, let me mention something here. So one particular item skill that the save wizard code gives me is beam. What is beam? It has 5,000 attack and covers quite a big area. So, however, Teo, if you think this makes you basically win the game instantly, it does. It does bring in some annoyance aspects to it, though. Because here's the thing, Teo, about this tactical. This is a tactical RPG, so obviously the tactics should be how I win the game. Problem is, Teo, there's a lot of there's a lot of RNG stuff involving physical attacks in this game. Specifically,
I guess the accuracy.
Not just accuracy too. Also, the enemies will sometimes randomly guard, and as a result, don't get damage. It can be either miss from you, a dodge from the enemy, or the enemy just randomly guards. And doesn't seem to be a factor to how and when it happens. It just happens randomly, from what I can tell. So it can be a bit. Go on.
Isn't it influenced by like the enemy type, for example, an enemy that normally resistant to physical attacks or some shit like that?
No, because beam is non-elemental.
Are there like any ways of doing pierce damage? Like, you know, do you have like a factor that can allow you to break through a guard?
Not that the game told me. The reason you're not seeing any tutorials is because I'm New Game Plus. On New Game Plus, you don't get tutorials. But, you know, it's typical in these games. So.
Question: you already played through this game proper with the tutorials, right?
Yes, I've done like a total of like 4 playthroughs, so I could unlock everything. See, the thing is, Jova, if you skip all the cutscenes, you can easily complete this game very quickly, actually. So.
Remind me again.
How quick you talking?
About like 5 hours. No, I'm serious. This game doesn't really have that much in terms of content. Most of the experience is just watching cutscenes. Go on.
Remind me again, what is the term of that ability that you mentioned that you don't know how do you get it?
Beam.
No, not that. There it is. Not the generic name of those abilities.
I don't know. They're called. That's the thing too. There's no tutorial for those things, so I don't know what they're called in game.
Oh.
That's the problem. I don't know what it is. So.
Could it be something you weren't supposed to be able to get and were only able to get with the game wizard?
Oh fuck! Hold on, give me a moment, guys. All right, could you give me a time, please?
Go to 7:30.
A long way to go. Thanks for letting me know.
That's right. Erin has that thing where she gets back more of her memory the more Furies we get.
Pedro?
No, hold on.
And then go to 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, we passed 7:30. Oh, hey, Harley.
I'm at 8.
Alright, we'll get there. Alright, and go.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with Sherman. At the very least, we learned something.
Yeah.
Also, if there's what looks? It's the only look we have.
Yeah. Yeah, yay, more lore that will never be properly elaborated on. Classic reference, RF.
I mean, I'll take that over nothing.
That's the thing too. This might as well be nothing. Knowledge of the ancients. Okay, who are the ancients? Why are they called like that?
No, the ancients would not allow it.
To be fair, if I recall correctly, this lore was built up proper on in the original game anyway, so I think it's fine for what it is. Although, if what you've told us is true, we're not even gonna bother with the goddess, evil goddess, or vile god in this game.
No, not particularly, no. They'll occasionally be mentioned, but they'll never actually come into play in the story. Which
makes me wonder where the divergent points is going to be, seeing this out. Again, currently, we're still on the same venture from the original game, so something has to occur for us to suddenly not care about those free factors.
It happens next part. It happens in the next part.
Okay.
So I look forward to that.
To recap, while the writing hasn't been stellar, I guess I can say that it has felt more balanced. Admittedly, like Tio mentioned, that might also have to do with the fact that the music seems to remember that it has more than just the trumpet tune equivalent.
Yeah, this was again made by a different team, and you can tell that they definitely weren't in agreement with the whole trumpet theme all the time aspect of the original game. It will still be used, and it's still annoying when it is used. Mostly during the comedic relief scenes, and it's just like...
Well, I mean, it makes sense. It's the comedic relief.
Well, sure, I get it that. It's just that the humor is not particularly funny. So it's just robs salt in the wound for me.
Again, I think it's like you've mentioned, though, like, so far as we've seen, it hasn't gone as low as the original. It also has not reached the heights that the original could reach, which, again, despite the many problems we had with the original, I will give it credit that it did legit have its high points. Like, okay, to put it into perspective, I can get why there was a fan base for it. This so far is, well, I can't even really call this a bad game so far, but I will say it's a baffling follow-up.
It's not a bad game. Like, no, it's not a bad game. Like, as a tactical RPG, this is perfectly competent. But again, there's nothing here you can't get from much better tactical RPGs like Final Fantasy Tactics.
Okay, let's forget that and think about this in, like, the sense of this being part of the Fairy Friends Ref franchise. Like, let's assume we're big fans of Fairy Friends Ref and how it played. Suddenly, here comes this game with completely different gameplay. It's like, okay, you think, obviously a spin-off. Except, no, because...
Well, technically it is, to be fair.
Okay. Yes, it's technically a spin-off, but the way it's presented is... Well, it feels more like a what-if sort of sequel. Wherein, again, it starts with the events of the original game and just has a different divergent point. It's like if... Okay, let me put it like this. It's like if, you know, say, any Kingdom Hearts game that wasn't numbered was officially marketed as a spin-off instead of being the sequels that they are, because, well, okay, to give it credit, this, I guess, is not integral to knowing the overall timeline of Fairy Fence Ref, unless it suddenly does, but, again, like, I feel like a spin-off should be, like, completely different events, or something to show that it's pretty much, you know, spinning off of the original. This feels like it's partially continuing, / again, doing another alternate universe take on the original. And given that Dark Force added in, well, okay, to be fair, I think the time travel mechanic was a thing even in the original, but still, having Dark Force did add in the aspect of alternate universes, so honestly, with probably just a little bit of modifying, you could argue that the two endings in this game are just two other potential outcomes for what could have happened to Fang and the gang.
Alright, next main story
Fury
episode.
Get.
And it's
Shadowgan.
another returning fairy from the original game.
I guess, okay, probably a credit I gave in the original, but, you know, some of these fairy designs are pretty nice. If I recall correctly, I think this is supposed to be a...
Line?
There's supposed to be somebody hiding there.
Yeah, I think Zenke was supposed to show up here, wasn't he?
No,
Yeah,
Zenke first shows up in Kidanar.
Okay, but maybe like his second encounter. I remember
No, his
he
second
shows up later.
no, his second encounter is in what's the name of? I forgot what the exact. I forgot the name of the place, but it's not the Subterranean Tower. I'll tell you that much.
Okay, how about Hackle?
Unless, of course, you're talking about the Vile God route. In that case, yes. As for Ethel, Ethel showed up for the first time in the Curvy Second.
First time. Whomst should be showing up here right now?
Yeah, because I really feel like somebody did originally show up at that point.
When we originally came to the Subterranean Tower, we found Aaron clones and that plot point never really went anywhere. In here, we don't actually meet anybody.
Holy cow.
Aside from... Hold on.
Oh, I completely forgot about the Aaron clones, I'm gonna be honest.
Well, probably because that plot point went nowhere. So...
Okay. So again, this is the game... Oh, this is how it went in the original, but now you can see that things are different here.
Basically, this is the part where things start diverging from the original game, basically. Just so don't expect things to be repeated at this point. Is someone there? Ooh.
It could be anyone.
More ellipses.
Was someone supposed to show up with their contract? The
Earthquake! Something.
You son of a bitch!
Casual swearing. Spoilers, we won't.
Classic.
No extra compensation for you.
I've always been here.
I need to be here, otherwise you can't fight because you need me to fight.
I guess this is when Galdo officially joins the party. Okay, I get what they're doing. They're sequencing fights to, you know, have our team members officially join the party, essentially. Okay, my best guess as to why they sped up to here is, like, maybe they were originally going to, you know, do a proper retelling of the game up to this point, but then have the diversion point, but at some point they ran out of time, money, budget, or whatnot, and basically decided to cut out the middleman and just skip ahead to this point in the story.
Who knows? Well, one thing I will give the game, credit that you can change the equipment of your characters right as the battle is about to start. So
I like that.
So you don't have to. So you can equip your party members properly even when they join right before a battle. So there's that at least. To elaborate on some stuff I said in previous parts, actually, that I didn't get to elaborate specifically, the Neptunia spin-off that's staying made before this, and that this game is a reskin of, is Hyper Devotion Noir, where you play as Noir, right? And yeah, I looked into the game just earlier today, in fact, and yeah, it's literally the same game, the same blue grids, the same menu choices. Yeah, it's basically the same game. Like, granted, in that game the characters are in chibi format, and the camera is not isometric like in this one. It's more like a top-down thing. But the gameplay combat is literally the exact copy pasted from this, basically. So we have a Fairfence Ref. So Fairfence Ref was a reskin of mainline Neptunia, and now we have a Fairfence Ref spin-off that's a reskin of a Neptunia spin-off. So that's basically this franchise's identity. It's a reskin of Neptunia stuff. But as for other stuff that I didn't get to elaborate about, me agreeing with Fang in that character episode with the accessories for Eren, right? No, see, I just want to elaborate. And trust me, I feel unclean agreeing with Fang on anything. Trust me. Like, but
I think you mentioned the elaboration already in that regard.
No, that I did. But what I meant is that the reason why I agree with him, like,
I mean, you already mentioned also that, you know, reason why you agree with him in another rock commentary.
Oh, okay then. Never mind then. Well, whatever. Yeah, the basic gist of it is defeat these enemies, basically.
I think this might be new battle music.
I'll have to re-listen again. I think I'll be blunt. Aside from the idol vocal tracks that both the two idol characters play, especially Fleur, I don't really remember any music from this game, except of course for the tracks that I'm already familiar from the original game, of course. So.
Well, you're the closest thing to a Fairfence Ref expert out of us. So
well, yeah.
I guess that is up to you.
Yeah, basically. I'm not exactly proud of it, but yes, as someone who platinumed the PS3 original, the PS4 game, and now this one on PS4, yeah, I am for all intents and purposes a Fairfence Ref expert at this point.
Does this game have a PS5 version?
Yes, but I got the PS4 version because that one. But that's the thing, Debs. I can tell you, there's no reason to get the PS5 version because there's no differences between either version. I looked into it, and the PS4 version. If you just get the PS4 version, you get the same benefits as the PS5 version. You get reduced load times and flawless 60 FPS, right? Combined with the fact that on the PS4, if you're like me, you can edit your save file to do cheats. So that there's that for you. Not to mention, if you have the PS4 version, you can play both with a DualSense and as well as a DualShock 4 if you want. So honestly, Grips, if you ask me, you're better off just getting the PS4 version rather than the PS5 version. There's not really any reason to get that version.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm not getting this game anyway.
It's kind of like it's kind of like with Shredder's Revenge. Like when the developers announced that Shredder's Revenge was getting a PS5 dedicated PS5 version, they said, "Oh, there's no difference within this and the PS4 version. It's just for the sake of having one." Okay, fine. But technically, according to the developers, it's literally the exact same thing. No difference.
We did, Fang.
Fang, the new One Punch Man.
Nice.
Christ, the one that series kind of fell off. One of that series kind of fell off.
Okay, my critiques of them starting off at where they did, I guess this is a fine enough means to slowly work the party members into the mix, I guess. Although part of me
I feel like if you wanted to make a spin-off of this game, why not just tell its own self-contained story that has no direct relation to the original to make it more newcomer-friendly? Because that's what spin-offs usually do.
I agree with.
Yeah, because that's what spin-offs usually... Now, spin-offs do that, I think, from what I've looked into.
They do, yeah. Again. Like, just in the context of this stuff, like, I have no idea if this was all a mandate or this was how the team wanted to do it. Regardless, though.
Yeah. Look at Leighton Brothers. You don't need to play any of the other mainline Leighton games to get Leighton Brothers. Leighton Brothers is entirely 100% self-contained. Sorry.
Anyway, my point is like, well, regardless of what were the circumstances, it is a fair enough bout of how they're getting us to slowly get reacquainted with the characters. I assume, unlike, New Game, you get, like, a mini tutorial regarding each one and all that stuff and what they can do, yada yada yada. Oh, snap.
Picking up that broken Fury caused this?
That's because somebody set a trap for us too, as you're about to see.
Someone set up as the bomb.
Hey, Tiara, now you know how it feels, huh?
Wow, what can I do?
And this is how it ends.
And this is how my story ends.
Succumb to poison.
Yeah, basically. Ladies and
that was very fancy reference.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet Glass. Don't worry, her name is not a spoiler. I can say it.
Oh wow, M. Night Shyamalan's film personified.
There's Mysterious Robe
hello
Man.
there, sir.
Mysterious Robe Man. And now while everybody is asleep, Glass decides to do something.
Kill one of them.
No.
Almost like into their auras.
Notice as my dialogue is intentionally vague right now so I can keep the mystery going for a while longer.
So what are these guys, like Time Lords to deal with the divergence in the time stream? Oh yes, it's not their time yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say Time Lords. I was gonna say, Jim, Time Lords don't act. Time Lords have a policy of not interfering. Well, unless they absolutely
and yet that does not seem to stop the Doctor the many times he has interfered.
What?
The Doctor's a maverick.
New CG.
Whoa. See, with the power of song, she shall revive our party.
You're joking, Joe, but the game literally uses the power of song as one of its terms to describe this stuff. So it really is the power of song. They literally call it that. Chapter 3, An Awakened
I'm
World.
not too surprised.
Yes, too?
Are you sure that hooded guy from, the scene that we got just before was not the one at the beginning of the game?
No, it's not, too. I can tell you that it's not.
Okay.
So I'm guessing that poison was supposed to kill us, but thanks to what Glass did, our party's still alive.
Let me put it this way, too. When we get the after credits scene, you'll see for yourself why it can't be the same person. So let's put a pin on that for now. So yeah, we all fell into the same trap. So
Like morons, though.
But we survived. Okay, to be fair, they were all around the Fury at the same time, so that's why it got them.
some kind of gas.
Even Sherman actually mentioned that he was careless of him.
So what happened? Did the Fury fart on them and they all fainted?
Still someone's safety we haven't confirmed. Who talks like that?
Sherman's like that posh, formal speaker.
Oh, and look at that! Oh, hold on! Why is Tiara recognizing Glass?
Wait a minute. Hold on.
So yeah, so this is where. So there you go. See this is where the game starts subverting your expectations.
Well, okay. So I'm guessing the plot is that some malevolent force tried to change the plot by killing the party early. But I'm guessing Glass and that hooded guy are also dealing with the time stream in that regard and potentially interfered, and now Glass has inserted herself into here to make sure that whoever tried to poison us doesn't get away with it.
The memory is being scrambled because apparently Sherman thinks Erin is his partner.
Yeah, and Fang is nowhere to be seen.
Yay, Fang's gone!
As long as he doesn't, as long as when he returns he doesn't wear that the outfit that he had in the Valgod route, I'm fine.
No, yeah, there's no.
He said orange is my favorite color, but the outfit that he had was not really good.
No worry, Teo. He retains the same outfit regardless.
So does this mean that Glass is now Aaron Spencer in this time?
No, Sherman.
Sherman is, whereas Glass is just here.
Now.
Okay, I'll admit, I'm intrigued and kind of want to know what the hell is going on.
But guess what? Curie hasn't been affected by her song, which means he knows that something's wrong here.
Okay.
Foul beast.
Okay, again, I'll give it credit. It is actually intriguing, and for people who are familiar with how the plot goes, this is actually a neat way to psych them out, essentially.
Are we technically controlling Sherman for this?
Basically, yeah. And we can't check our menu or anything. The only thing we can do is save. So, so during this part, we can't do anything.
So I guess I definitely now know how this would diverge from the original plot. So, again, to give it credit, it is an intriguing bout of interest in seeing how stuff changes up. That being said, I do wish that they could have made it a lot more clear from the get-go that, this is, like, its own thing. Or, honestly, okay. I know that would have required committing to one of the endings, but surely they could have just had this be set after the original. Or again, just full-on be its own alternate timeline. Well, I guess it is.
Technically it is. Technically.
But you get what I mean, though, is like, the marketing did not exactly make it the most clear what this game was.
Honestly, Jova, based on the marketing and the overall way they handled this, especially with the localization not having voice acting, like, it's just like, it feels to me like Idea Factory just threw this game out to die. Because they barely marketed it, from what I've been able to tell.
Which just leaves me wondering, why did they even make it? But you know what? Again, we have an interesting plot point. Let's see what they do with it.
All right, tune in.
Yeah.
Tune in next time, everybody.
Yeah.